Start streaming. Oh, yeah. Take it all. Take all of it. Take all of it. There we go. We're on there.
Hell yeah.
They don't even know about us. Hey, bros.
Hi.
Hey, Jed. Hey, Rekka. Hey, Coble. Rex. Dixie Rex. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on our show. Thanks for being here. Haley, you're here, Haley. Kevin, how you doing, pal? Thank you guys for coming on the live stream here. Imperial Shot. William. That's what she said. All right. Let's get it going real quick. Real quick. Let's see here. If you've ever made out with your mom or dad, if you've ever made out with your mom or dad's friends at a swingers party at your house because you woke up in the middle of the night and you weren't supposed to be up and your mom and dad were having a swingers party in the hot tub at the house and you accidentally made out with one of their friends, you've come to the right podcast.
Been there. Oh, shit. What's going on, guys? How's
Welcome to the Brohio podcast, everyone. I'm the delicious Nicolicious.
I'm Rob Dog. Hey, guys.
You guys are finding yourselves in the stickiest, gooeyest, some people call it the cream spot.
Ooh.
You're in the cream spot, and we're happy you're here. We're so happy. I remember one time we were with a friend, you know him. He's kind of fucking goofy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I sure do.
He was my dum-dum.
Yeah. We
were house sitting for a really well-to-do attorney in our area, and his mom and dad were there, and they had a bunch of friends over, and there was a hot tub. And I woke up in the middle of the night and looked out this house is like 3 or 4 stories tall. And I looked out the window where I was at, and I could see them all in the hot tub out back, and all those old women had their titties out. They were all topless, hanging out in the hot tub. I said, "That's fucking wild."
Bless their hearts.
Didn't even do anything. Didn't even care. I hadn't even got hair on my prunes yet. It wasn't exciting or anything. I just
That's a bummer, man.
A whole bunch of titties down there.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of sunburned ass titties. So I went back to bed. To this day, I wish I could go back and relive that 5 minutes.
Glories.
Zoom in on them
Glory days.
Nasty things. Let's hop on these. First off, this episode of the Brohio podcast is brought to you by our best friends at Sticker Theories.
Oh, yeah.
You go to stickertheories.com, use a promo code Brohio. You're going to save some money. They're the fucking coolest people ever.
For sure. Yep. Oh,
Easy, Robert.
Oh, geez, about broke down the whole fucking table.
God.
Sorry.
We got a lot of new patron subscribers, I think.
We do.
Either that or it was a glitch, but we got to roll through these things really fast or everyone's going to turn us off. Doug Bruce. I got a dog named Bruce. He licks his dick and balls. He can put them all in his mouth. Thank you, Doug Bruce.
Jeff Flores. Thank you very much, Jeff.
I wish my mom named me after Flower. Little girly man, Jeff. JD, or as I like to call him, I don't know. There's no good words that start with J.
No.
Jumping
Jizz.
dick. Jizz dick.
Jizz dick.
Thank you.
Anonymous. Thank you. We're so scared of you.
Creative.
Yeah.
Donovan McHone. Thank you, Mr. McHone. He's, by the looks of it, got a nice set of taters on him, man. Nice set of man titties. Thanks, Donovan, buddy.
Flash Jackson. Thank you, Flash.
He's a fast comer for sure.
Fuck yeah, he is.
How about Clayton Peak? I feel like that's how you have to say his last name. Peak. That's a really... Those are the nastiest. What about those things you eat at Easter? Those nasty.
Oh, yeah, those things are disgusting.
Those are gross.
Yeah.
Just like your underwear, Clayton. You're gross.
Disgusting. Next we got Mel Drizzle. For shizzle.
Hell yeah, we do. Mel Drizzle, thank you.
Yeah.
How about David Bentley? David Bentley, thanks for being here, man. I used to work with a guy named David Bentley. I hated that motherfucker, so if you are him, thanks for circling back. But I think you're someone different. I do love this David Bentley. Thank you, David.
Hell yeah. Justin West, thank you very much, sir. Way better than Justin North. I don't fucking know.
How about Greenstone Ryan? That's
Man.
his name on 4chan there. You can find him posting pictures of Joe Biden naked and shit. Thank you, Mr. Greenstone.
Dylan Franklin, thank you very much, sir.
Harris Ballsack. No, hold on. Hollisk. Harris Hollisk.
Hollisk.
They named him after a fucking Huska corn there, I think. That's definitely one of them Midwest names right there. Harry's Hollisk. It looks kind of foreign. Maybe he subscribed by accident.
He's got the two little nipples above the A.
Nice nipples on your name.
Next, we got Shannon Nunnery.
Oh, that's kinky, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Nuns are hot.
That's a fucking slut name right
They're
there.
nasty.
I love it.
They don't wash their pussies. No way they do. Sharon Nunnery, we hope you don't participate in that non-washing shit. How about Nikki Dick Wolf? Nikki, I think Nikki's been around for a long time. I'm very aware of Mrs. Wolf, and we are thankful, Mrs. Wolf. Thank you.
Zachary. Thanks.
Zachary, dude.
Very
He's here.
anticlimactic.
He's here and he's queer. Thank you, Zachary.
Cherry.
Mike Chishook, which was a nickname for my penis briefly in the 7th grade. I went with Chishook, and then I went with Juggernaut. But Juggernaut stuck. Chishook did not stick. But, Mike, if you're ever in my presence, I will stick to you, my friend.
Liz. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Liz the Les. Big Z. I'm glad that I don't have a Z in my last name or my first name, because those are cursive hard words, dude. Those
Yeah,
are
it
cursive,
is.
hard cursive letters.
They're kind of cool, though.
So I kind of feel bad for Liz.
Yeah.
Got to deal with that shit.
Kind of like it.
How about Mia H? Hopefully this is Mia Hamm,
Mia
the
Hamm.
famous hot-ass soccer player from back in the 90s, early 2000s. But if not, Mia, we accept you anyways.
Christian. Thanks. Love your book.
Oh, no. This is not just for Christian. This is for Christian's wife.
Okay.
He wrote us and he said, "Don't shout me out. Shout out my wife, Sierra.
Oh.
It's her birthday." And I started right back, "Sister Christian, I'm in love with you." But I didn't write that back because it's hard to convey that in an email.
That's true.
And I said, "I will tell Sierra, happy birthday."
All right.
And he said, "Make sure you tell everyone that her tits taste like juicy fruit bubble gum." And I said, "God damn, dude, where you at? Where you at?" And he said, "I'm right here celebrating my wife's birthday."
Fuck yeah, man.
My lady friend. I think it was his wife. I'm pretty sure. It could have been his girlfriend. Nonetheless, it was a sweet, sweet lady friend, and she got juicy fruit tits.
If he is married, then this is definitely his girlfriend he's talking about.
And if you're not married, Sierra, he's proposing. Surprise.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday. Isaiah Garcia. I love that ice cream. You know, Cherry Garcia.
Yeah.
How about we try some of your ice cream, Isaiah?
Yeah. Fuck. Let me see here. We got the Wilbs. Hell yeah.
The Wilbs.
That's a cool name.
I used to do those on my bicycle. Do Wilbies all over the fucking
Wilbies.
plat, dude. Eric McGaffey. Eric, man, been here a long time with us. Maybe. If not, love to snort cocaine with you sometime, pal.
And that goes double for Kendra Hunter. Thank you very much, Kendra.
Kendra Dick Hunter.
Yep.
Kendra, thank you. Yo, Kendra. Kendra's a pretty name.
It is.
She's a nasty.
It's a dirty
You can
name.
tell she's nasty. She's like she's not, but she's nasty.
Yeah.
How about Linda? This is your mother-in-law. She's so bored.
Definitely not.
She's so fucking bored that she has to subscribe to the Bro High Patreon. Thank you, Linda.
Now we got, is it Ana?
Anal.
Anal Dick. Thanks, Anal.
Ain't you dick. It's my dick. It ain't your dick. It's ain't your dick. And James Compton. Thanks, James. You're the best, buddy. If you would like to join us on Patreon, go to patreon.com/Brohio Podcast. How about the newspaper article for this week? Hotel guest wakes up to manager sucking his toes.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my fucking God.
Yes.
Why are you sucking on my toes when you got that big, juicy dick laying right there on my thigh? A hotel manager has been accused of entering a guest room and sucking on his toes while he was asleep. Metro Nashville. Okay, Nashville, a bunch of goddamn hillbillies.
Hell yeah.
Nashville Police Department charged David Neal, 52 years old, with aggravated toe sucking.
Is that a real crime?
Aggravated burglary and assault after reportedly cloning a key card
Oh, fuck.
and letting himself into the room of Peter Brennan.
Gay.
Brennan told WTVF he was sleeping at the Hilton downtown Nashville hotel when the alleged assault happened. Quote, I was in Nashville for a work conference, he said. I woke to a gentleman, an employee of the Hilton, assaulting me. I instantly jumped up and was screaming, went in a sort of a fact-finding mode. Who are you? Why are you in my room? What are you doing here? I could see he was wearing a uniform. He had his name tag on. He was talking to me, but not giving me any substantive answers. Neal admitted entering the room, but told officers he could smell smoke. Got the fucking hairy ass toe knuckles, buddy.
Get out of here, you nosy pervert, or I'll slap you silly.
Brennan claims the alleged assault has left him with post-traumatic stress disorder and trouble sleeping. I still don't really feel safe in my own home, he said. Now Brennan plans on suing the hotel. Michelle Myers, a spokesperson for Hilton, told Channel 5 News. Hilton Nashville downtown is independently owned and operated by a third party, and no Hilton entity employs staff for this property. The safety and security of our guests is our top priority, and this sounds like someone that's about to get their fucking tits sewed off.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The moral of the story, you can't be sucking people's toes in the middle of the night if they don't want it.
Unbeknownst to them. No scanning key cards.
I would really like to suck your toes.
I saw you walk in with those Crocs, and I thought you looked delectable.
I put my feet up. We got a new, it's called a cocktail ottoman. We got new furniture. And this ottoman takes up the entire living room. Mm-hmm. My wife uses it for folding laundry, to get fucked on, she uses it for a lot of different stuff. But she was folding laundry, and I put my feet up after I was done mowing the grass. I had my Crocs on. I was out crocking around the yard with no socks on.
Crocking and rolling. Crock and roll, dog.
And she said, oh, my God, your feet smell like vinegar. And I said, it's not my feet. It's these Crocs. I kicked my Crocs off. I started waving them in the air like a surrender flag.
Just gassing them out.
Everyone in the house started gagging. They said everyone in the house said they could either smell Fritos or vinegar.
Oh man, that's rough.
I just get tired of being made fun of by my own family. Is the thing is, I live here. I pay fucking bills. I keep food on the table. The least they can do is pretend that I don't smell for a little bit.
It's true.
Do me a favor.
Common courtesy.
The picture, those are some good looking feet there.
Yeah, those aren't bad.
If that's what the guy's feet look like,
yeah, I could see it then.
I would definitely suck on those toes if there was money involved. I don't know if I would necessarily go out of my way to.
It's not worth the catching a felony.
Their toes. No, not worth a felony at all.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I'd love to get a foot job sometime. Though.
Ask that guy.
Someone with rough feet.
Scrape you up real good.
I tried this one time. Well, my wife was sleeping. She's wearing one of them tank tops, and her titty was hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
And I started sucking on it while she was asleep.
Is that? Can you catch a charge for that? I think you might have a warrant.
Anyways, dude. She woke up madder than shit.
Yeah. Imagine waking up with someone on your tit.
I don't be sleeping braless in one of them tanks, dude. Just
I know.
letting them all hanging out all over the place.
Just asking for it.
But I think I started to latch on a little hard.
Oh,
I woke her up.
Just bite on it.
Felt like a spider bite or something.
She starts flicking your mouth.
Stuck her finger between my canines. If you ever had your titty sucked on in the middle of the night, send us an email, broiopodcast@gmail.com. This goes for male, female, cat, dog, fish. If you ever sucked on fish titties, send us an email.
God, I hope we get that email.
Got a lot of I'm tired emails this week. A lot of people are tired.
I feel
tired
that, man.
too. I just get tired sometimes. Had our first lightning thunderstorm 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
The bedroom started lighting up in the middle of the night.
Ooh.
And I'm so accustomed to there not being lightning storms anymore because, it's the winter time, but now we're going into spring. the bedroom started lighting up, and I said, "Here we go. I'm getting abducted. This is what I've been waiting for."
Finally.
And I laid there with my eyes closed just to take it, just like my wife when she took that titty. And she took me on that tit in the middle of the night. I was just waiting to be taken by whatever creature was there to get me. But then woke me up, pissed the dog off. Everyone was scared. Both cats were in the bathtub. Everyone's running for their life. It's 2 a.m.
I didn't wake up to that. I completely missed out on the thunderstorm.
I didn't. Got my ass, dude.
Man, I was fucking snoozies.
I'm all right. I know you guys are wondering if I'm all right. I'm okay.
Good.
Let's take a quick break for a couple of our truly powerful sponsors. That was good, right?
That was really good.
How about William Clyde Gibson? William Clyde.
Yeah.
Anytime you name your son Clyde, you know he's going to be a strong-ass dick beater.
For sure.
An egg beater.
Yep.
I beat my eggs, dude. Scramble them.
Scramble them up.
Fry them.
Yeah, this is like Clyde's very, you name someone that when you know they're just going to have a hairy dick right off the bat. Like, not just the balls, but dick, like up shaft. Like, yeah.
I was thinking if you knew your kid was going to be like a horse fart, like a horse trainer.
Yeah.
Named Clyde.
Yeah.
I think there's a movie where there's a monkey named Clyde. I remember Stacy's grandpa, he right turn, Clyde, when I was driving. I'd say, old man, I got no fucking idea what you're talking about. He's like, you ain't never seen that movie? No, I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, no idea what that is, but.
No idea. William Clyde Gibson III, he found his way out of his mama's butthole. That's where all serial killers come from is their mama's buttholes. On October 10th, 1957 in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Beautiful.
I was actually 9/10 of the way through the police department process in Raleigh, North Carolina when I was about 21, 22 years old. And I was at the finish line. I'd passed everything, passed all, and they were doing my my post-offer polygraph, which I passed the first one. And I never really asked during the entire process how much money I was going to make.
Yeah.
And then I finally figured out they were only going to pay me like $14 an hour to be a cop in fucking North Carolina, Raleigh.
Hell no.
Yeah, this is 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I said, fuck you, man. I'm not, God. You trying to starve me to death? Am I supposed to eat bullets in the patrol car? $14 an hour.
Unless there's like literally no crime and it's like the easiest job ever, then but I would assume that there's probably.
They're like, well, my boy, it's North Carolina. We got a lot of great things going on down here. And I said, no, absolutely not. Remove my name from running. I'll go unload fucking trucks at Lowe's for, more than that.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's silly.
North Carolina. You guys are crazy. You guys got One Tree Hill. That's it. That's the only good thing that came out of there. Was Sophia Bush's raspy voice. That's the only good thing.
I loved her.
I still love her.
I haven't seen her in a minute.
Well, I see her all the time. If you close your eyes, anybody can be Sophia Bush. It's gotten me in trouble a couple times. So when my wife gets laryngitis and her voice starts to go out, I'm like, come here, let me fuck your mouth. Let me fucking smell your hair. Get over here. And old William, we'll call him Clyde for this episode.
Yeah,
Clyde. Clyde. If I pronounce that clip by accident, just know I mean Clyde. He was the youngest of 4 children. His dad, William Jr., was a tree trimmer by trade. And his mom, Geraldine Jerry Gibson, she was a cashier at Sears, where I had my first credit card.
Hell yeah.
And he, I think it's a prerequisite. If you're a tree trimmer, an arborist, I believe possibly what they call them, it's prerequisite. You're just a fumbling, sloppy drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get drunk and you chop down trees.
That actually sounds kind of cool, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man. That's hard work.
Yeah.
Hard-ass work. Now, they wouldn't stay around Raleigh for very long. The family picked up shop and moved when Clyde was just 2 years old to New Albany, Indiana. They had by all accounts, this guy, Clyde, I got a burp stuck between my right nipple and my bottom of my mandible. I got it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like burping on the podcast, but it happened. And
Yeah,
it's,
I mean, we can agree that happened.
we've done a pretty good job of not burping on the, and that nothing cringes me out worse than when I do listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
And they're just like burping.
What about farts?
I can't remember the last time I farted.
Not that we've ever done that on this show.
Not directly into the microphone, no.
It's very true.
A lot of fart noises.
Yeah.
By all accounts here, old Clyde, he had a pretty normal upbringing. That's not the case with most murderers, serial killers. They're usually got a pretty sketchy upbringing. But that wasn't the case with old Clyde. Even in his interviews, he said everything was cool. He had a good childhood. The only thing that was a little bit strange was his dad was a bit of a fucking drunk.
Yeah. I feel like that's a par for the course back in those days.
He used to get drunk and come in my bedroom and bring me pieces of wood he chopped down earlier in the day. He was an alcoholic. I feel like everyone needs a drunk dad for a little bit growing up.
Yeah. I agree.
I was with a group of fellas at work the other day, and they were all talking about how their dads all wore tighty whities.
Yeah.
And I never went through that phase with my dad. I don't ever remember seeing my dad in tighty whities.
Oh, I know my dad did. That's all he fucking wore, skid marks and everything.
And now I feel like for a couple rite of passage things for my children, they need to see me in tighty whities.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get caught doing bad stuff while I'm in my tighty whities.
Yeah.
Also, another thing, I got my house surrounded with cameras like Fort Knox. I worry about my children never being able to sneak out and cause trouble.
Okay. That's
and
true.
I want to give them that opportunity.
I think like one of the things one of the main things that I remember too is like a rite of passage type thing that is, you see, not only is your dad in the underwear and like the tighty whities, but he's got to be in the light of the refrigerator. Like where all you can see is his fat ass silhouette.
I saw the Adams dad in tighty whities several times. And the thing was, he had so much dick and balls.
Good for him, man.
That had pushed the underwear away from his body.
Yeah.
So you could see side tit, but it was side nut. You could see the sides of his nuts.
Hell yeah, dude.
And his dick all coiled up, mad like a pissed off cobra.
Like what's it called? Big League Chew? Or no, bubble tape. Bubble tape, that's
bubble
it.
Tape.
It's coiled up dick.
He had so much dick and balls coiled up that it pushed the underwear away from his body, and you could see in the side.
Good for
you
him.
Get some side nut. And then I saw him completely naked once. I think he just got done dicking down the matriarch.
The mom.
Yeah. And I could tell there was a certain his scent glands had been activated. And I could smell it coming down the hallway.
It's permeating.
Tell he did a good job.
Put in some work.
You got to really dick her down good to activate those scent glands.
Yeah, you do. Oh, shit. He was pollinating.
Send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what your scent glands smell like when you've been dicked down really good. The thing about old Clyde here, he had a really good support system growing up, but he was still a weird kid. And I had friends like that growing up where I would hang out with them because their parents were really cool, but they were lames. And it's just weird how that works out. I feel bad when two cool people have a child that's a fucking boner that's just not cool.
Dumb as a dick.
Dumb as a dick. And that's how my mom and dad feel about me probably is they think, they're two cool people. And they said, we had a fucking idiot for a son.
Like maybe they got a touch of the tism or something.
Not a touch. Whole grasp. Whole handful.
Whole handful of the autism.
Possibly, man.
Yeah. It happens.
From a very early age, he couldn't talk. Clyde couldn't talk to people, just like me. He couldn't fucking talk.
Yeah.
He struggled with his speech. He was shy, and he got really bad grades. Which doesn't make him a bad guy. It just makes him a dumb guy.
Just makes him a fucking idiot.
He normally preferred to stay home with his mom and just hang out with her, opposed to socializing, going to, different gatherings. The coming of age parties that you go to in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, he just assumed stay home with mommy and see where that goes to. I had some relatives growing up, and we suspected them of fucking their mom.
Really?
really strong suspicions that they fucked their mom. And now they're all grown up and they're really weird.
Yeah.
And we still suspect them of fucking their mom.
I had some friends that did fuck a friend's mom.
That's cool.
Yeah.
God, that's so hot. Think about just, you never think about this stuff when you're younger.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one friend, he was dumber than shit, man. But everyone said, oh, your fucking mom is so hot. And I would see her and I would say, she's not attractive. She's not an attractive woman. And I never fantasized about any of our friends' mom. Well, maybe your mom a little bit, just because I'm a hair man. I like hair.
She had that fucking 80s blowout.
I like nice hair. But I feel like I really missed out on an important part of my youth by not fantasizing about.
Yeah.
But we had some ugly moms surrounding us.
There's a lot of ugly moms, man.
We grew up in not a rich neighborhood. So these moms that we grew up on were living off of Spam and Bisquics and shit like that.
And like menthols and
big barrel-chested women.
Marlboro Reds is what it was.
Beat us up.
Yeah. Mean fucking women.
It didn't even have to be their kids. They would beat them with a shoe. They didn't fucking care.
They'd chase you around the plat with a flip-flop in their hand.
Chunglata. Now, he got picked on a lot. He had a lot of problems with kids bullying him and picking on that's not nice. But then he finally hit his growth spurt about the 6th grade. Mm-hmm. And then after he hit his growth spurt, then Clyde himself turned into a goddamn holy terror. He was fighting, fucking, beating people up, smoking, snorting, shooting.
Hell yeah.
He was doing all kinds of bad. He was talking in class. He wouldn't follow directions. He was getting in fist fights with his classmates. Then the bullying spilled over from school. He would follow these kids home in the neighborhood, and he would bully these kids on the streets around the Platte. At one point, he even took a pellet gun and shot a girl in the eye for no reason.
Oh, fuck.
Said, bitch, I don't like that eye.
Damn.
Taking it.
Lazy eye.
Using this pellet gun. One of the most magical things that I watch on all the internets are the guys that put cameras on their scopes for airsoft.
Oh, dude, yes.
God, I love that, dude.
They just fucking light up cheaters.
I want to kill people with an airsoft gun. Mm-hmm. God, I want to do that.
Yeah.
We had an airsoft gun, sniper rifle when I was a kid, and we would shoot each other in the dick with it and it would hurt so goddamn bad.
It fucking stings, man.
Yeah,
it can welt you up.
They hurt.
Yeah.
At the ripe old age of 13 years old, Clyde, he started drinking alcohol pretty regularly. He became pretty dependent on alcohol when he was only 13 years old.
Damn.
And he was even arrested at the age of 13 for stealing a dirt bike.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. I'm not going to lie. That's fucking
dude.
cool.
And I had
a drunk kid riding a dirt bike.
13,
sweet,
I would have fucking hung out with him.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. That's like that kid that you knew that knew everything, every bad thing there was to know. That's like him.
And speaking of dirt bikes, yesterday I had about a pint of some type of chocolate, peanut butter, keto ice cream, and they load it full of the sugar alcohols. So then you just absolutely shit your guts out.
Oh, man.
And this morning, by about noon, it looked like somebody had rode a dirt bike through my underwear.
Was it rough?
There was tire tracks.
Oh, man.
Looked like someone went mudding.
Was doing burnouts.
Hitting dunes. Hitting poop dunes.
Just casually jumping doubles.
If you ever rode them poopy dunes, send us an email. You know where it's at. Hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that. Smash the button.
Smash my button. Smash that brown button.
I think it's... When we were kids, people say, what do you want to grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up, little Timmy? And little Timmy would say, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a NASCAR driver. Now all these fucking kids, I want to be a YouTuber.
Right.
That is not a job. There's no, I guess it'd be this, my one daughter, I said, what do you want to do when you grow up? She said, I want to be a fashion designer. I said, sweetheart, sit down with me for a second. I need to tell you how stupid of a decision this is right now. I'm real with my kids. Mm-hmm. My one daughter, she said, I want to be a special needs teacher. I said, sweetheart, that's a beautiful thing, but you're going to be poor for your entire fucking life. You're going to have to rely on somebody else, some other partner, for you guys to create a lifestyle that's comfortable, to where you can have a nice house, nice cars.
Teachers are so underpaid and undervalued. It's wild.
Oh my God. Well, the good ones are.
Yeah.
There's the ones that like to set it and forget it like a crock pot.
That's true, yeah.
And you get a bunch of fucking baby kids.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the bad ones. Don't pay them.
Yeah, for sure.
Take the money from them and give it to the good teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, I don't know, like, thinking about back even when I was a kid, I was one of those fucking, like, idiots that I never really knew what I wanted to do. And, like, still to this day, I still don't fucking know what I want to do.
Dude, me neither. and I have a good job, but if someone would have said when I was 16 that, hey, this is what you're going to do when you're older, I would say, oh, that doesn't sound very enticing at all.
Right.
But also the industry has changed so much since we were younger. We're robots and AI and you got all this crazy stuff, man. I don't know. I think I wanted to go to school for criminal justice whenever I was
Yeah. That was me right out of high school. That's what I wanted to do. But then I got a job in it, and then I stopped going to school.
Make that money, bruh.
And here I am.
Got your wife, pumped her full of cum, got her pregnant.
Yeah. Did that multiple times.
Keep doing it.
Fuck no. I mean, I'll pump the cum, but I ain't have no more babies. Fuck that, dog.
Babies are bad for your health, dude.
Yeah, bad for your fucking...
I don't like babies.
For your fucking life.
No, I like babies.
No, I do like babies, too.
Yeah,
I hate kids.
They
like
taste
babies.
Awesome. Fat arms.
You want to taste some of mine later?
Your fat arms.
No, some of my babies.
Taste some of my babies. Old Clyde, he had dirt bike tracks in his underwear, I think is where I'm at in my research.
Poop dunes.
Eventually, school was just too much for Clyde, so he dropped the fuck out, which is crazy to me that you can just stop going to school whenever you reach a certain age.
It's wild.
You just quit school.
Like, yeah, I quit.
He maintained a relationship with the local police department, though. He was constantly stealing, crashing cars, drunk driving, you name it. He was just a bad dude, bad kid. He was an all-around fuckhead. He was dumber than shit, dumber than a box of rocks. To kind of escape the problems he was having in his life, he did what all dumb people do. He joined the army.
Fuck. Oh, shit. Shots fired.
That's not saying that everyone in the army is dumb. That's just saying there's a lot of dumb people in the army.
Jesus Christ.
But every time I call a certain branch dumb, they write me and they say, Nick, you're right, buddy. I'm surrounded by dumb people. I know a lot of incredible people.
Yeah.
Incredible men. Some of the best people I've met in my entire life. Resourceful, smart guys that are in the army. But then I know a lot of really fucking dumb people.
Yeah, I would say the majority of the people I know are fucking stupid. I mean, they got more balls than I do. I'll give them that.
I'm pussy ass bitch. They got all the street cred from me.
I don't love my country enough to die for it.
The thing about my army buddies, those guys will shit anywhere. They don't care.
I mean, I'm kind of like that too, though.
No, these guys will dig a hole behind Dairy Queen and shit. They don't care. They'll dig
Which
a hole.
Dairy Queen? Let's figure this out.
So he was stationed in Germany, but apparently they got some good fucking drugs over there in Germany. I didn't know about that. He developed an addiction to heroin, cocaine, and LSD, and he'd mix all that shit together with alcohol.
Oh, fuck.
You've never truly lived until you've had heroin mixed with cheap whiskey.
What a fucking animal, dude.
Malort. Drink some of that, guys. Look that shit up and drink that.
Yeah, don't do that.
His time in the military wouldn't last very long, though. He was dishonorably discharged in 1979 for stealing a fucking car.
What if it was a fucking tank? How cool would that have been?
What's I call it when I come too fast to my wife is a dishonorable discharge.
When she goes to bed mad.
She knows, like, as soon as I'll be like, God damn, that's wet. And she's like, you're done, aren't you?
Like, this feels fucking good.
Every time I fuck you, I go deaf.
This felt good.
God, you felt so good. I'm not proud of that.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do her a solid and I'll sit down Indian style for an hour before I have sex with her and make my lower extremities fall asleep.
Oh, yeah.
So then I'm just hot dogging her for about 30 minutes until everything comes back.
Oh, man.
Just watching my thing bend in half like a taco shell. And
Yeah, I did that one time with some of that lube that numbs you. Boy, let me tell you what, it fucking numbs. You can't feel shit.
You're like, God damn, that thing's still attached.
Dude, yeah, I felt so bad for my poor fucking wiener. I was like folding it up and shit. Like, I made some origami swan out of it.
Turn that bitch into a billfold. It's my Italian wallet. Hey, dick.
I was doing that four-fold thing that the girls do to pick a number and pick a color with
One,
it.
two, let's see how many kids you have, where you're going to work out when you get old. Give me a number and a color.
Put my balls in my ass, everything, man. Nothing worked.
Hot dogging her.
Yep.
God, yeah.
Had that geriatric penis.
That's what I want.
Never use that shit again. I tell you what, I threw it away.
It's for your ass, dude.
That's where I put it.
Yeah. Now he did. He got dishonorably discharged, but he did do 2 years of incarceration at Fort Leavenworth for stealing that car in 1979. He made really good use of his time there at Fort Leavenworth. He actually tried to kill himself by slitting his wrists, which for all intents and purposes probably would have been the best thing that could ever happen to any of us in terms of this guy if he just would have succeeded and actually died.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. He lived through it. They fucking mended those slitted wrists. And he set sail out of there, Fort Leavenworth, in 1980. And when he got out of Leavenworth, out of prison, he met a nice woman. She was an artist, and he was an artist as well. He got in one of his prison stints, he actually got an associate's degree in art.
Huh.
But he met a woman.
Good job getting a degree for something you'll never fucking use.
Stop it. We've already made fun of the army people. We can't make fun of the art people. Yeah, it's too much.
That's true.
I think it's way too much for this episode.
Still more of a degree than I have, so.
Yeah, it is. The only fucking degree I got's the deodorant in my drawer upstairs. Got fucking 2 fucking tubes of that. Sport. It's that degree sport.
Mine just on my fucking thermostat.
They married. They did get married. He married the artist, but not long after he found out they got married that he was suffering from infertility.
All that LSD, dog.
His dick was a pussy. It was scared to make babies.
It was in a billfold.
It was not a good wiener and
Nope.
had a fake dick. This sent him into a tailspin, Robert.
Oh, shit.
He was smoking upwards of 20 marijuanas per day after the news of his fake dick, of his imposter dick, not being able to make a child. He said he was smoking around 20 marijuana joints per day. Chain smoking marijuanas. And if you or someone you know is addicted to marijuanas, there's help out there for you. You don't have to flush your life down the toilet.
It's an epidemic, man.
You don't have to be a fat loser. Because marijuana makes you eat Oreos, man.
That's true. Speaking of which, that's what I was eating before I came over here.
To sleeve. Have you seen those mega stuff ones that have 3 inches of cream in them?
Good God, those are too much. I like the double stuff. That's like perfect. I got the mega stuff one. It's like there's literally like 4 cookies in the entire pack.
It looks like a hotel pillow between the cookies.
Yes. Oh shit.
That's a lot of creme, my friend. La creme.
It's pretty fucking good though.
Is good. I'll tell you a secret about those when we go off the air.
All right.
You can actually get never mind.
Okay.
These women out here will do anything for Oreo cream, though.
Hell yeah.
Now, this is coming from the wiki page because they summarize it so much better than I could have done breaking it down. On January 26, 1991, Clyde hit a pickup truck in an automobile accident but sped off after seeing a nearby police officer attempt to inspect the damage. In an ensuing high-speed chase, he eventually crashed into another vehicle from which the other driver had 8 ribs broken.
Damn.
And Clyde suffered injuries that required numerous stitches on his fucking dome piece. 8 months later, Clyde was charged with robbery and sexual battery relating to an incident involving a 21-year-old woman. He caught her up in a phone booth. And if you don't know what a phone booth is, and you're too young for this show anyways, but he went in a phone booth with this woman and started feeling on her tits and fucking ass. Grabbing her up. Sexually assaulted this poor 21-year-old woman in a phone booth. Should have fucking killed his ass right there, but we didn't. We let him live. This happened in Louisville, Galleria, in Louisville, Kentucky. At the subsequent trial for this case, his lawyer claimed that he was mentally ill and requested a competency evaluation. They found out that old Clyde was working with an IQ of 79.
Hell yeah.
So that puts him someplace between a snapping turtle and a potato.
It's a snapping turtle.
Oh, my Lord, it's a snapping turtle. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, he had an IQ of 79.
Hell yeah, good for him.
That motherfucker couldn't even hold the flashlight for Dad in the garage. He was so stupid.
His fucking IQ is a C for an IQ.
He gets his IQ back, and it's just a fucking box. It's a
frown face.
high C box of fucking fruit juice is all it is.
It's a fucking sticker that you scratch it, it smells like an asshole.
Hey, man, where do you buy those at? You could make a lot of money if you did a scratch and sniff. Made it smell like poop.
Different people's assholes.
What flavor is this? Chocolate pudding. Oh, I love chocolate pudding. Yeah, give it a little sniff. He refused to take responsibility for his actions, what happened there in the phone booth, which he blamed on alcoholism. And this guy, I will say, even in his prison interviews, he sounds perpetually drunk.
Sweet.
Just stays drunk.
He's probably just on drinking hooch all day, I bet.
Oh, yeah, dude. He did not suffer from any mental illnesses that impaired his judgment. Due to this, he was found competent to stand trial and accepted an Alford plea, for which he was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment at Luther Luckett Correctional Complex in LaGrange. Upon learning of his conviction, his wife, the artist, she divorced him.
Oh, man.
I got to look up what an Alford plea is.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
In federal courts, such plea may be accepted as long as there is evidence that the defendant is actually guilty. The Alford guilty plea is a plea of guilty containing a protestation of innocence.
So guilty.
Yeah,
That's all it sounds like.
Pretty much you just like, yeah, I'm guilty, but... This is how I used to fight with... This is like when me and my wife first got together, and she would... You know, you're very volatile when you first get together. When you both are coming off old relationships and you're trying to mix together. And I'll sometimes just to appease her, I say, all right, I fucking did it. I'm guilty. Will you leave me alone now? I would admit to shit that I didn't even do. That's an Alford plea. When you're so tired of the judicial system, ramming it up your ass.
You'd rather just get it over with, get them to shut up, and then...
So sick of people giving you a hard time about sexually assaulting women in phone booths. That you just say, yeah, I'm guilty. Leave me alone.
Never been there.
During his imprisonment, where he was ordered to attend a sex offender rehabilitation program, he refused to admit responsibility for his crimes. So he's just pretty much, going through the motions here. While he was considered an obedient inmate who rarely caused trouble, this is when he was actually able to secure his associate's degree in art from the Lindsey Wilson College. Several psychiatric assessments concluded that Gibson had poor judgment, you think, and often experienced conflicting feelings of loneliness and losing control. Despite these diagnostics and his refusal to complete the rehabilitation program, he was deemed unlikely to reoffend. He was released on April 5th, 1999, after which he was added to the Indiana Sex and Violent Offender Registry.
Got him.
Come on down. And he found him a little girlfriend after he got released out of prison there in 1999. Her name was Kelly Bailey, but they didn't stay together too long because his drug addiction that had carried over from the military seemed to just follow right on behind him. He was doing heroin, LSD, cocaine, smoking marijuanas. All really bad stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I think heroin's the only one I probably wouldn't do.
Yeah.
All the other ones seem pretty cool.
What, crack?
Mushrooms, crack, dude. Crack's a poor person. Crack's for poor people.
Yeah. Meth.
Late in late in 2000, after they had broken up, his old goldfish.
His old goldfish.
His old goldfish.
Swam out of the toilet and bit him on the ass.
His old girlfriend, Kelly, she actually had to file a police report because she was out delivering newspapers, just trying to get a little side hustle, doing, we're out here grinding in these streets. She got pinned in by him one day. He fucking came up behind her and pinned her in with his vehicle, and then he proceeded to beat the shit out of her.
Damn.
And they he was convicted of that, and, well, no, charges were dropped because there wasn't enough evidence.
Wow.
Yeah.
What more evidence do you need than someone saying, hey, you beat the fuck out of me?
Apparently more than this. In 2001, a year later, he got arrested for stealing a Harley.
Yeah, okay.
Hopped on a hog. He got 3 years imprisonment for stealing that hog, buddy. And it's hog. Speaking of hog season, speaking of Harleys and motorcycles,
yeah,
I'm looking for Dayton-based people to ride motorcycles with.
You can ride with Moo now.
I know. I talked to him today.
He messaged me. He said, "Do you ride a bike?" I said, "Like a Huffy."
It's like a fucking. Yeah.
He said, "No," and I was like, "I got a mongoose."
I got a mongoose.
I knew exactly what he meant, but I wanted to fuck with him.
No, I texted him today. I said, hey, man, let's ride. He said, any fucking day, any fucking time. Name the time, name the place, dude. He's got one of those, they call them Jap bikes.
Yeah. Crotch rocket.
Crotch rocket.
Yeah.
So I can't keep up with him.
No.
On the old street glide.
He'll blow you away.
He'll blow me out.
I'll tell you what.
He'll pull over and blow me.
You could probably be on yours for a lot longer than he could his.
Mine's a couch.
Yeah.
I see some guys.
Yours is built for comfort.
Comfort. Yeah. Got a radio. We can listen to Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
We can listen to Daltrey.
3 Doors Down.
3 Doors Down. I like 3 Doors Down.
That's why I said it.
I was blown away. What can I say? Daltrey and 3 Doors Down are pretty much the same band.
Yeah, yeah.
I can play every 3 Doors Down song on guitar.
I believe you.
You're like a fucking. Where is it?
Let's bring up this fucking copyright strike.
Yeah, I got an electric guitar right here. Hold on.
Nope, your headphones are cable. There you go.
Tangled up here. Let's see what I can do real quick.
See how out of tune this is. Almost.
That's pretty good, right?
That was pretty good, yeah.
This is as embarrassing. I told you.
It's so fucking stupid.
I told you I could play every one of them.
There you go.
I can be like that.
That's the first time one of us played guitar on.
I can do anything.
Live.
Just to be one day.
Yeah, they do have like very similar vocal inflections, like Daughtry and that dude.
Yeah.
Daughtry can fucking sing though, man.
Oh,
I hate his fucking music, but he can sing.
Yeah, he was good on American Idol.
Yeah.
He could crank it out. Not like that, not like I just did, but
No.
Close.
Yeah, he wishes.
The real reign of terror the real reign of terror for Clyde would begin in October of 2002, guys. This is when his officially started killing people. Although he claims to have killed around 30 women.
Damn.
Listening to his interviews, he sounds like he's full of shit. Is what he sounds like.
All right.
There's a podcast.
Is that him?
Yeah, he's a
Jesus Christ.
He's a dick nut. He's a full-on dick nut right here. There's a let me see here.
He looks like someone who started drinking at 13.
There's a podcast called it's by Phil Chalmers on YouTube.
That's a funny name.
He has a podcast like Where to Hide the Body or Where.
Oh fuck yeah!
But he actually got this guy prison phone and interviewed him from.
Oh hell yeah!
From prison.
That's pretty cool.
The day room is right behind him though, and it's louder and shit. It's hard to hear.
Of course.
Yeah. He was out drinking at a bar near Jeffersonville, Indiana. Which, if you guys know anything about Jeffersonville, that's where you can go and get your dick sucked by Justin Rimmel in Indiana. There, he met an out-of-state beautician named Karen Sue Hodella.
Oh.
Hodella. And Karen put the hoe in Hodella.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. Karen was in town visiting her boyfriend.
Oh.
But somehow or another, she found herself spending the evening with Clyde, who she met at the local watering hole there.
Naughty girl.
And just by my brain power here, I was able to piece everything here together.
Mm-hmm.
It appears they left the bar together to go buy pills in some hood-ass apartment complex.
All right, naturally.
And he was addicted to pills. She was addicted to pills as well. There was an argument that ensued about who got what pills, who got how many. Karen felt like she was shorted pills by Clyde.
Oh.
Clyde said, "Oh, no, bitch." And he did not agree with what she decided was the proper split of the pills. This pissed Clyde off so much that he punched Karen in the face. He proceeded to beat her mercilessly. He beat her real bad.
Yeah.
He beat her bad. And then he pulled out a pocket knife, Toledo credit card, and he stabbed her multiple times in the throat,
Ooh.
killing her.
Ooh.
Right there where she sat. Killed her, stabbed her in the throat.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be stabbed in my throat. I don't want to be stabbed anyways, but definitely not in my throat.
He dumped her body in Clarksville, Indiana, which if you're ever there, you can get your dick sucked by Justin Rimmel. He's got a podcast called Mysterious Circumstances.
Circumcisions.
Mysterious Circumcisions. He should do a spinoff. Call it Mysterious Circumcisions.
Where all he does is just try to guess people if they're circumcised or not.
People give their horror stories about getting circumcised after the age of 12.
We just talked about this last week.
I know.
I kind of want to do that spinoff.
Yeah. That's ours. You don't get it, Justin.
Copyright.
We're pissing on it. A few days later, he had the date of the murder tattooed on his arm.
What a fucking loser.
To, I guess, pay tribute to the evening of the murder. He says this was not his first murder. But why did he go get a tattoo of the date if this wasn't his first murder?
Right.
You don't document your 12th murder, but you do document your first murder.
True.
Right?
True. I would think so.
Do you remember the 5th time you had sex?
No.
But do you remember the first time?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. So do I. And that was probably the 2nd or 3rd time that night that my dad had woke me up for that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
No, keep going.
I don't want to.
Okay.
It hurts. It's scary.
It's a painful memory.
Not really. He's not a big guy, but didn't hurt at all, actually. Karen's, oh, man. Fuck, dude.
Fuck.
Karen's badly decomposed body was found 3 weeks later on January 7th, 2003.
Damn, 3 weeks.
They used her thumbprints to ID her because she had a prior criminal record. Not that it makes it okay for her to be murdered, but that's how they were able to identify her.
Okay.
3 weeks later, he got another DUI.
Why not?
Yeah. Driving under the influence. After he was released from this stint in jail, he continued to frequent local bars because he got some time after this DUI. I don't fucking want to say this is like his 6th or 7th driving under the influence even from the time he was younger until then. A lot of DUIs. Those are safe driving awards in some places where you go. People are proud of that shit.
Yeah, I know. It's
DUIs
wild.
are expensive, man.
Fuck that, dude. Nope.
I don't drink and drive, but
No.
I used to work in the court system, and I would hear how much those DUIs cost.
Mm-hmm.
$6,000, $7,000, $10,000.
Oh, God.
You had to go do a weekend intervention program. A whip.
Yeah. That sucks.
And they search your fucking... I remember we would have people come in for DUIs, and the prosecutor would say, they're going to check your bag whenever you go stay the weekend for your weekend intervention program.
Mm-hmm.
And these people would come back without completing the weekend intervention program. It was either that or get 2 weeks in jail.
Okay.
And they would come back without completing the program because they would find weed and shit in their fucking suitcase. They'd take weed with them to these
Fucking idiots.
Or bottles of booze if they're, if they're drunks and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Jeez.
Yeah, he continued to frequent the local bars, and on February 21st, 2006, he stole a woman's purse with $300 inside.
This dude is just a fucking scumbag.
He's a deviant.
It's like he just can't do anything good, like any good deeds or anything.
No.
He's just like, fuck it, I'll just steal this bitch's purse.
And the woman that he stole from this time, she had a good husband. He said, "Oh hell no!" And he tracked him down,
Hell yeah,
tracked his ass down, and he, we went street vigilante justice from here, but no, he just called the police. He said, "I know just where this guy went. He's bad. He stole my wife's purse." So they went and arrested him, and he did 3 years in prison for this. This is his fourth or fifth stint in prison at this point. Yeah, so he got 3 years in prison. In 2009, he made his way out of prison. Thank God, because we're not done. We didn't want to be done with this podcast episode, and if he would have just stayed in prison for his entire life, he never would have been able to kill the additional people that he killed. It's crazy how the justice system works.
I thought prison was supposed to reform these people.
It does, in most cases.
Oh,
Not Clyde's case. Maybe he was changed this time, and there was hope. He got a job at a hardwood flooring company. He was most of the people there, they described him as being a diligent worker, and everyone had positive reviews of him. He was helping out at church, and he was taking care of his sick mother. His mom was suffering from cancer.
Wow.
And he was taking care of her, and he was also doing some art on the side. He was doing lots of paper mache masks, lots of other goofy art stuff. But, the people around him at work and his loved ones said he had turned a corner. Things were getting better. But then on the flip side, you ask the people at the bar, they'd say, he's still a bastard. All the people from at that time that knew where he was at and what he was doing, they said, he ain't changed shit. He's still snorting pills, still stealing, still being a scumbag. We don't let him. We don't want him being around. Bad stuff, dude.
Yeah, no bueno.
August 2011, he stopped going to church altogether when his mom was placed in a nursing home. She would unfortunately later go on to pass away in January of 2012. So the woman that he had held in such a high regard his entire life, his mother, the woman that he would skip out on time with his own friends to hang out with his mom, she died, passed away, leaving him behind, leaving him in a deep, dark, psychological pit that he could not escape from, turning him, what little good there was of him, turning it all bad.
Ooh.
Real bad. And he really stunted any progress he was making at this point. On March 24th that year, he met 35-year-old Stephanie McMahon from WWF. Wait a second.
A story about Triple H?
He met 35-year-old Stephanie Marie Kirk at the Uptown Bar in New Albany, where he arranged to take her on a motorcycle ride.
Hell yeah.
They spent the day doing drugs, fucking having sex.
Hell yeah, dude.
And the crazy thing is, in this podcast interview he does with this guy, he says, I met this girl. We were riding a motorcycle, and she was wearing a wig because she was ate up with cancer. But god damn, she was hotter than fuck. And this podcaster, his face is just like, oh my god. And this Clyde he talking about, he said she had one of them clamp down pussies. Just fucking clamp down. Oh god, she had
that gorilla grip.
She took that fucking wig off. She's bald all over. She had one of them fucking clamper pussies. Me, I'm pretty fucked up. I see the
god damn, dude.
I see the humor and everything, and I was listening to this in my car saying, what the hell is going on here? This nasty bastard.
One of them clampers.
She got one of them clampers on her.
She had a bear trap between her legs.
If your wife's got a clamper on her, send us an email so we can shout her out on the episode.
Hell yeah.
Nothing makes a wife happier than to hear her name on this podcast that she does not listen to and to hear how wonderful her vagina is to her husband. I tell you what, it'll move mountains. It'll rekindle a primal desire for sex. in your marriage that you did not know that you were lacking? Cracking.
Yeah.
Crack-a-lacking, licking. Love licking on the puss.
Nothing's better than letting a bunch of strangers know that she's got that fucking kung fu grip.
Nothing's better than pinning those legs behind her head and listening to her fucking fart. That's it. That's all there is to it, Rob. Your fart.
Boop. Oh, man.
I don't think I've ever heard my wife fart before. I gotta change that tonight.
Just push some air into her ass. Just put your mouth on and just go.
I think I'd kill her, wouldn't it?
I'd probably blow her up like a balloon.
We had that, like when we were kids. We got this little fishing kit thing, and all had bobbers and hooks and shit in there. Mm-hmm. But then it had this. It looked like an eyedropper bottle with a needle on it, and you'd cram it in the worm, and you'd blow air into the worm.
What?
And it would make the worm like float. I think we never really did it. But
turn the worm into a bobber?
It would turn the worm. It would make it fat and float pretty much.
Weird.
But then we started stabbing each other with it. And my dad's like, fucking quit, you're going to fucking kill each other.
Put air in your...
Yeah, he dropped it. And then later on that night, I said, Dad, were we really about to kill each other? He said, yeah, you blow air bubbles in your
like bloodstream?
Yeah, in your bloodstream, it'll fucking kill you. And I was just like, you're so crazy. You're such a kidder. But he was really mad. He never got mad, but he was mad when we were stabbing each other with that.
Fucking shanking each other with fucking turkey baster.
No patience at all.
Never wanted you to have any fun.
Yeah, no. So after they spent the 2 days on a bender snorting fucking drugs and riding motorcycles, they engaged in a little sex, little cancer sex. They're on and off for a little bit for a couple days. The two of them returned to Clyde's house where they argued over some pills, just like the last Karen. They were arguing over pills. From this argument, he proceeded to strangle her and rape her after he killed her.
Damn.
This was such a violent act that he actually broke her back in the process of raping her.
Holy shit.
He did also, like I said, he had sex and engaged in intercourse with her after postpartum, or postmortem. Postpartum is when you have a baby.
Yeah.
She did not have a baby. She was postmortem. She was dead. Postpartum. After you're done pooping. Put her in the garage for 2 days.
Fuck.
And he claims that there was a friend that he had known for a while that he was kind of, this friend would come over and talk. This friend would talk about all the bad stuff that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clyde said, well, I got one for you, bud. I got a dead motherfucking body in the garage. And they both started working towards cutting this body up and slowly dismembering it and getting rid of it.
Fuck.
Then it all kind of went to shit, man. There was his mom had a best friend by the name of Christine Wheatus.
Wheatus, of course.
I'm just a teenager, baby.
I was gonna make that reference, but I didn't know if you would know it or not.
I know everything. I'm just like a mushroom, just keep me in the dark and feed me shit. Yeah, but his mom's best friend, her name was Christine, and the rumor mill, this fucking scumbag claims this 75-year-old woman, after her husband died,
mm-hmm.
she started fucking him.
Oh, shit.
It's very strange.
That's weird.
But it was weird because this woman was his babysitter growing up.
Okay.
She took care of him growing up, and then he claims that there was a sexual relationship. I don't see it. I've seen the pants that 75-year-old women wear. Those pants aren't made for sex, buddy.
No, they're made for diapers.
And when I was little, we had some old neighbors, and I went in one time to see her,
mm-hmm.
and she told me to come in. I knocked on the door. I would always go over to see them, and she was in a nightie on the little short sundress sleep thing.
Yeah.
and she had her legs spread, and I saw her pussy.
Oh, God.
Probably 75, 80 years old. And I just remember I was a kid. I said, that is a fucked up pussy. I don't know if I'd ever really officially seen a pussy at that point.
It had some miles on it.
That thing was tore. I don't know if it was tore up, but it didn't look well.
It was very sick.
I think it had rabies.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not for having sex. Startled me.
Yeah, man, they'll shake you.
Worried me, man.
Shake you to your core.
She was sweet. She's actually one of our, someone we were really close to growing up. It was her grandma.
Hell yeah.
I hate to do this. Sweetest lady in the entire world.
Nasty snapper, though.
And that clamper.
Clamper. It wasn't a clamper anymore.
Clamper was messed up, man. God rest her soul. So Christine would come in and out of the house to take care of him. Christine would bring him food to take care of him, and she was always coming over to help take care of Clyde's mother. And even after Clyde's mom passed away, she would still come over, make sure he was doing okay, see if he needed help with laundry.
That's sweet.
Just to take care of him. She'd spent her entire life taking care of him. I don't think he was really fucking her. He's a psychopath. I told you, you get a 79 IQ.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in between a snapping turtle and a potato. He's dumb. But that day that she came over to check on him, he was dismembering. He was in the process of dismembering the woman that he had just murdered.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, Christine, you've seen too much." And Clyde took the opportunity to rape and strangle his mother's best friend, killing her. While Christine was found and this is from one of the articles I got from the police department. Christine was found in a partially disrobed state, face down. Her shirt was off her body on the arm, hanging off the right arm. Her pants were down around her ankles, and her bra was unclasped but still on the body. She also told the judge their first thought was that when Gibson broke her back, testifying that initially when we observed the body, her body, the legs were in an unusual position, and Gibson is Clyde. Her legs were in an unusual position, just up and over to the left. As we were observing her, the back appeared to be broken. It was unusual to us where the body was and how the legs were. Now the weird part of this entire thing, he did have sex with her after she was dead, but then he took a knife and he cut one of her tits off.
Fuck.
Road tit. Because he went to Hooters to get chicken wings and beer after that. But he took the tit with him, and
he took a Hooter to Hooters?
Who are you to make that joke, dude?
Well, I mean, I'm just stating the obvious.
I bared my fucking soul to you playing Three Doors Down on the guitar.
I mean, I set the bar low, man.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah.
There's no bar in the studio. And the interviews later on, he said that he put the tit in his pocket. He put it in his glove box to
How do you put a tit in your pocket?
They weren't big tits. They
Okay.
weren't big titties. It was only one tit.
That's true.
So he put the tit in the glove box and he drove to Hooters and he got it out and he put the tit in his pocket and went inside.
This is so fucking weird, dude.
I'm not making this up either.
Who does this?
William Clyde Gibson III.
Someone with the 79 IQ.
And in his interviews, he says, I got too fucking drunk that night and stayed out too late, and I was all fucked up. But he said the entire time he was in Hooters, eating wings and drinking, getting blasted, bombed, he had his hand in his pocket playing with a tit.
Jesus Christ, so awful.
He has new meaning to the word pocket pool.
Wow.
And, you know, I've heard of lunchbox tits before, or glove box tits. I've never taken my wife's titties anywhere like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I get to where I'm going, I'll go to piss and I'll find a long hair wrapped around my penis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hers. It's just her way of saying, hey, I'm with you.
Hang in there.
Don't ever fucking cheat on. Don't ever think about doing anything dumb.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut off circulation to the head of your cock.
Dude, nothing feels better than when you pull those things off.
I know, but what happens when they get kind of tangled up and they just start cutting off you just start cutting into you?
Yeah, it don't feel good.
It's scary.
Yeah.
My dick is too fat for that. My wife's hair is not long enough.
It fits around the circumference of your penis.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. I can't hit the bottom, but I'll blow out the sides of a tuna can. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jelly bean.
Whole tit in the pocket. Okay.
Here we are. He cut her tit off. He's at Hooters.
He's smuggling Hooters and Hooters.
This is his former babysitter's mom's best friend, man.
Wild.
His two sisters came over to check the mileage on their mom's van the next day for splitting up the estate. And Clyde was out getting drunk the night before. He was 10 kinds of fucked up. This is from the wiki page. Later that day, when they came over to check the van for the mileage, they went in the garage and they saw that the Christine was dead in the garage. They panicked, but they also knew that their brother was very capable of doing this, that he was what he was.
Yeah.
And at one point, one of his sisters even came to him and said, I had a dream that you slit somebody's throat with a knife. And he laughed it off because he had already done that at this point. And the wiki page reads, later that day, Gibson was arrested for drunk driving in Christine's car and was charged with her murder 5 days later.
Ooh.
A few days later, he confessed responsibility for Karen's murder. He also willingly led them to the location where he had buried Stephanie Kirk's body. And on April 27th, authorities dug up her body from his backyard. On May 23rd, Gibson was officially charged with murder as well, with prosecutors announcing that they would seek the death penalty for all three killings. During his murder trial, prosecutors presented an interview that Gibson had given to investigators upon his arrest, during which he claimed that an evil had overcome him and had made him commit the murder. On October 25th, 2013, Clyde was found guilty in Christine's murder at a jury trial, with the jurors taking less than 20 minutes to find him guilty on all charges.
Damn.
At his sentencing the following month, Gibson was subsequently handed a death sentence, to which he told the sentencing judge that it was no big deal and that he deserved what he was getting. In regards to his upcoming murder trials, he changed his plea and waived the rights to a speedy trial, choosing to plead guilty to both murders instead. As part of the deal, it was decided that evidence presented at Karen's trial would not be used as evidence or an aggravating factor in any follow-up trials. A substantial issue arose when Clyde had a tattoo done on the back of his shaved head, which said, quote, "Death Row ×3." He had that tattooed on the back of his skull in huge black script. What a fucking pile of hot, stinky jizz.
That sucks.
According to Justice Suzanne Orth, the tattoo could prejudice the jury and possibly prevent a fair trial. And because of this, prison authorities were forbidden from cutting Gibson's hair so the tattoo could be covered up. At the final trial, Gibson unexpectedly pleaded guilty again, waiving his right to a jury trial. In spite of the guilty plea, prosecutors pushed for another death sentence, aiming to prove aggravating factors during the commission of Stephanie Kirk's murder. On August 15, 2014, Gibson was sentenced to death again, with sentencing Justice Orth deeming that it was, quote, the only appropriate sentence in regards to the brutal killings. And if we circle back here, this was an interview that, who did the interview? I don't know who did this interview. But this is a 1-minute clip of Clyde talking about the murders. He's been open. There are tons of interviews on the internet of this guy spilling the beans, but here's one of them.
The first woman you killed was Karen Hodella, 44-year-old woman who you had never met. Why did you kill her?
Just felt like it. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have to have a reason.
And then you killed somebody who was a friend of your family, your mother's friend.
Yeah.
Christine Wittis.
She caught me cutting up another one. So, and then she told me she was going to call the police.
How did you kill her?
Strangled her.
just trying to discover whether there's any part of your mind, any part of your, I use the word loosely, humanity, which says that this is appalling.
Yeah, I don't believe I got any of that humanity.
You have no humanity.
I don't think I do.
You have no remorse at all about any of the people you murdered.
It just don't seem to affect me anyhow.
What a guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Love to have him over for a fucking barbecue.
I'd like to beat his ass.
Yeah.
But there's a tattoo on the back of his head.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
Death row ×3.
That's fucking huge.
It is
they
huge.
weren't joking. That's a big ass tattoo.
It goes from the top of his cranium to the bottom of his neck and then ear to ear.
Almost from ear to ear, yeah.
Death
Holy
row
shit.
×3.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Let's see if we can get a bigger picture of that. Clyde Gibson tattoo. When he got arrested the first time,
Oh, he got his ass beat. Look at that.
he must have said something fly to those cops because he is busted up.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, that tattoo is. That's actually not bad for a prison tattoo,
It's
honestly.
really not, especially on the back of the head. Like, it held ink pretty well.
It did. Probably still fresh. There was a guy in isolation once when I was at where I used to work at. And he was a white guy, and he was just tattooing his dick black. Just
That's not how it works, buddy.
no, it's not. And he had a pretty admirable dick. Not a bad dick at all, but he was tattooing the shit out of it, dude.
Hell no.
And I asked him, and if guys were shooting tattoos, I didn't care because it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Just whatever. Pick and choose your battles.
Sure.
Tattoos was not something that I cared to try and police. And I caught him tattooing. He was like, "Fuck, man, you gonna take my gun?" I was like, "I don't fucking care. What? Yeah, I'm not. Why are you doing that?" He said, "I'm just bored." And this guy's just sitting there with his bloody dick. He's sitting on. He's sitting at the edge of his. He's sitting at the edge of his mattress, and his just bloody dick's just laying there in his between his legs. And I said, why are you doing that? He said, "I'm just bored." It's like, I can think of a lot of other shit to do.
Shit.
Push-ups,
I've been putting stuff in my butt before I would have been
Yeah.
drilling needles into my dick.
water bag squats. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
When I would search a cell and they would really upset me, I would always put holes in their water bags because they would take 10 trash bags and
Yeah.
fill them full of water and work out with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd take my ink pen and
Pop it.
flood their cell. Dirty tricks, man.
Yeah.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yep.
Well, that's the episode on Clyde Gibson, William Clyde Gibson III. What a scumbag. And he is still on death row there in Indiana, still alive, still milking the system.
I hate that mustache.
It's nasty, dude. But these victims of his were very attractive young women. I think he had a certain way with the drugs, the pills, and he was able to get some women that might not necessarily be in his league.
Mm.
Let me see here.
Especially that 75-year-old.
She's a sweet old woman, man. That kind of Gibson victims. Yeah, there's one of them. No, there's one. You
Okay.
know, just they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was old. She's a 75-year-old woman.
She looks like what I kind of expected.
Yeah.
It was like
He-
she could be anybody's grandma.
He claimed to have killed upwards of 30 to 40. Some interviews he claims to have killed one a month. I don't believe him.
Yeah,
I think
doubt
he's
it.
just trying to do it for notoriety now, just
Right.
trying to make stuff up.
Yep.
He claims to have killed a cousin, and when pressed about the details, he says it's too hurtful to talk about it. Well, this guy talks about everything else, and you guys can listen to those other podcasts, listen to the interview. It's kind of rough to listen to. We gave you all the details you need. That's why you come here.
It's true.
We give you all the hard-hitting facts.
Yep.
Speaking of hard-hitting facts, go to brohiopodcast.com/cruise. We got a cruise coming up in 2024. You can set sail on the high seas. What the Mariner of the Seas or the Mariner? I don't even know what it is.
Yep.
You can ride in a boat with us and dine
It's going to be good.
You can wine and dine. We'll have fun. We'll 69.
Yeah.
Do it all. We'll go Mako shark hunting.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
We'll cut off your titty and put it in one of our pockets.
We'll take your tit back with us. Not those nasty women tits. We want some guy with big puffers on 'em. Big old fat puffer fishes for nipples.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
But until next time, Brohio fans, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's been real. I was thinking about doing animal fights again,
Okay.
but I couldn't think of any good animal fights this week.
All right, we'll think about it.
We'll think about it. Everyone really loved animal fights.
Yeah, we need to bring that back. That was good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
talk to you guys soon.
Love ya. Oh, my God.
Bye.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh.
Dude, I gotta fucking piss.
All right, YouTube.
Oh,
Next-
okay.
Next, gonna go piss.
I forgot about that. And I always pull my wiener out before I get up, so they would have all seen it.
Damn, I fucking ruined your guys' night.